Hey Bears fans, Will DeWitt, Nicholas Moreano here for CHGO, and we are making the case for the Chicago Bears and prospects entering the 2023 NFL Draft. Before we get to today's player, give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. That way you don't miss any of our amazing Bears content all year long. But let's go ahead and make the case, and let's make the case for Luke Musgrave, the tight end out of Oregon State. Last year, 22 catches, 304 yards, and 1 touchdown. And he had grade, if we look at some of his grades here, 33rd on PFF's top 150 and 42nd on mock draft database. Nick, tight end isn't the very first position that comes to mind for the Bears and players they need to add, but I do think it makes sense to continue to add behind Cole Kmet. Why would Luke Musgrave perhaps be a great complement to Cole?
Yeah, look, if he couldn't play, then we wouldn't be talking about him, Will, but he can. And what stood out at the Senior Bowl, he runs routes like he's a wide receiver, yet he's listed at 6'5", 255 pounds. Created consistent separation against some of these DBs there, the top seniors in the country. But every time I watched him, it's like, wow, that's a tight end out there. But he looks so smooth and fluid with his route running that when you think of what again, a compliment to Cole Kmet, that's why I like him so much. But the route running, the consistency, the separation, Luke Musgrave's a weapon, man.
And the separation allows him to become like a true vertical threat at the position. And I believe Cole took some great steps forward in becoming one of those here in Chicago. But you can't have too many guys that can stretch the seam and be a threat in the vertical area of the field. So he is someone that does that. I know he has some good soft hands. He doesn't allow the ball to come into his body all the time. He'll pluck that thing right out of the air. Is there any other positives that you want to highlight?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you're a 4-sport athlete in high school, that's a plus. He was playing football, lacrosse, ski racing, and track. So, again, just speaks to the athlete that he is. And when you watch him at Oregon State, he just sticks out on film. He's just such a big dude, yet he's gliding down the middle of the field on these seam routes, using those soft hands that you talked about, Will, and creating plays for the Oregon State offense. So a lot to like about what Oregon State tight end Luke Musgrave brings to an offense.
When a big-bodied guy can move, as you said, like elegantly almost would be the word I'll use, as he does, it makes it look easy. You know that you have a really athletic player on your hands. So he's athletic, but is there any concerns we should be aware of right now?
Yeah, I think the blocking was just a little inconsistent for me. There's times where he's putting his head down and whiffing on blocks. Other times he sets the edge really well, but you just want to see that area of his game become more consistent, especially what the Bears would ask him to do. It's like, yes, you have to be a vertical threat. We like that, but you also got to be able to block, Will, and that's something that Cole Kmet got better at for the 2022 season. But more consistency in the blocking will be, just something that overall makes Luke Musgrave a better football player. And
once he reaches the NFL and he continues to go through a conditioning program at the next league and a muscle building program, and he has more play strength, I do think you'll see him grow as a blocker. He definitely hasn't plateaued there. He can continue to grow as a blocker, and I think the big one would just be to continue to add some strength.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And to make the case for Luke Musgrave, we talked about it. Cole Kmet has ascended as a tight end. It was great to see, but there really isn't anybody else at the position that the Bears currently have that can complement him. And the ability to stretch the field vertically, I like that idea. So I know we talk a lot about wide receivers doing that, but if you can also get that from the tight end position, hey, that's a plus in itself.
Yeah, I'm right there with you in terms of it just makes sense because you need to be adding more bodies behind Kmet. This helps the Bears. It's not nearly as expensive as getting a free agent. Yeah. And ideally, you can continue to bring in guys via the draft, develop them. And two tight ends, having two quality tight ends in this league is nothing new. And the Bears could really benefit from finding more production opposite Kmet and maybe even unlock more of Cole next season. But that's going to do it for this Making the Case video. If you haven't yet, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our awesome Bears content all year long. But we'll see you in the next one.